Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem HaKadosh, the one that's the elder apostles of Great Millstone rule well, and Shalom to all the brothers in the way considering truth, pushing word to the four corners of hope for elect. Got this article on AP News, that hot news that what Biden authorizes Ukraine to use US supplied longer range missiles for deeper strikes inside Russia. And that's something that I think when it was France, I believe, that initially said, I think they gave a green light to Ukraine to use their missile systems to strike into Russia, but I think NATO and everyone else basically squashed it. But it was chiefly from the US, but it was like everyone else followed through, and then they squashed it. And now, you've got the US given the green light. And I think they said, I saw that, I think Germany, well, I think France was going to follow through as well. Let's see if they got it down here. West supply missiles. So there's a few other countries that were looking to give the green light to using their missiles as well. I think it was Germany and France. Okay, no, it's fucking long ass article. So it says what President Joe Biden has authorized Ukraine to use US supplied missiles to strike deeper inside Russia, easing limitations on longer range weapons as Russia deploys thousands of North Korean troops to reinforce its wall. And it really shows how it's already hit that scale of being, a world war global conflict. But, it's not being discussed fully as such. And, it's because it's still ramping up. It's not hit that full on crisis point. But then again, you go back to prior world wars, World War One, World War Two. You have conflicts, but then it's only afterwards they kind of bunch them together. So that's why it's like, you have the first war, or first and second war, and then the third war cometh quickly, and it's been proxy wars, and now like the key proxy war, the least the flock in the Middle East, Iran and the state Israel, and then Russia and Ukraine, where Russia's not even a proxy. That's directly that Russian land. So it says, according to the U.S. official and three other people familiar with the matter, the decision allows Kiev to use the Army tactical missile system for attacks farther inside Russia. Comes as President Vladimir Putin positions North Korean troops along Ukraine's northern border to try to reclaim hundreds of miles of territory seized by Ukrainian forces. Biden's move also follows a presidential election victory of Donald Trump, who has said he would bring about a swift end to the war and raise uncertainty about whether his administration would continue the US's vital military support for Ukraine. I think there was something where they said half of the money that had been promised to Ukraine hadn't materialized yet. Zelensky was saying it. And I remember seeing going to the comments for that, and people were saying well, you ain't even gonna get, you're gonna get even less once Trump gets in office, and that's we'll kind of see how it shakes down as well. Because with Trump going in, there could be a shift. Same for the Middle East as well, and then that might bring more focus to the Middle East as well. Because they're kind of getting gassed because it was, Trump was the one that recognized Jerusalem as the, what was it? I think they moved the U.S. embassy into Jerusalem. It was underneath Trump. So their expectations that he's going to be down what they're doing, and then push him forward. So these things we can see easily how they'll develop. So it says Biden's move also follows the presidential election victory of Donald Trump. Okay, wait, yeah, I already read that. So it's got the missiles and detail. That shit is. That's what I was thinking. Fuck it. The official and the others knowledgeable about the matter were not authorized to discuss the U.S. decision publicly and spoke on condition of anonymity. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky's reaction Sunday was notably restrained. Strikes not made with words, he said. During his nightly video address, such things are not announced. The missiles will speak for themselves. Zelensky and many of his Western supporters have been pressing Biden for months to allow Ukraine to strike military targets deep inside Russia with Western-supplied missiles, saying the US ban has made it impossible for Ukraine to try to stop Russian attacks on its cities and electrical grids. Yeah, I think Russia did an attack on the electric grid yesterday, or maybe the day before. No, I think it was yesterday. There was a strike on one of the power grids and something else as well. Infrastructure. I think they were still striking infrastructure. I don't know how successful it was though. But Zelensky's statement came shortly after a message of condolence on Telegram following a Russian attack on a 9-story building that killed at least 8 people in the northern city of Sumy from the border of Russia. Okay, yes, that says it there anyway. So Russia also launched a massive attack, drone and missile attack, described by officials as the largest in recent months, targeting energy infrastructure and killing civilians. The attack came as fears are mounting about Moscow's intentions to devastate Ukraine's power generation capacity before winter. Yeah, same shit happened in Crimea as well, where they took out the power infrastructure. And that them over through, especially in winter, and the fucking the Siberian, the Russian, that raw brick cold. People be freezing to death. And this is the answer to everyone who tried to achieve something with Putin through talks, phone calls, hugs, and appeasement, Zelensky said. The comment appeared to be a dig at German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, who spoke Friday with Putin in the first such call with a sitting head of major. What is that? Was it internet? No. Major Western power in nearly 2 years. Some supporters have urged that the limitation. Now, have argued that the limitation and other US constraints could cost Ukraine the war. The debate has been a source of disagreement among Ukraine's NATO allies. There's other people saying, like, even with it, it's still, it still wouldn't have impacted. Because the thing is, anyways, at any point, Russia can just drop a nuke on them and it's a wrap. But then that obviously draws in everyone else to, retaliate off the back of that. And, it's prophecy as well, really. Because, Biden's remained opposed, determined to hold the line against any escalation, and he felt could draw the US and other NATO members into direct conflict with nuclear-armed Russia. And yeah, that's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. The reality of it is it would escalate to that further war. And that's what we're seeing. But then what, it all comes down to prophecy. Prophecy is really where it's at. So read this. 1 Thessalonians 5:1, it says, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Yeah, well, yeah. The point was in verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes upon them. And that's really what, how this war hit. And that's the thing is the escalation's gonna hit like that as well. The reason now that, you know, it hasn't uh fully popped off is because of prophecy, man. Prophecy is basically, the means by which you're gonna know, the order escalation. You need to have um what's it called? Uh that Karagma, man, that MOTB, instated there's an order to things. But then what is, people are still, most people involved aren't thinking that World War III is going to pop off. A few are, but a lot are like, nah, there's no way, Russia would blah, blah, blah. But it's all going to go down to prophecy. And then even these different nations where, currently their allies are Babylon the Great, they're going to flip. They're going to switch up on America. Because why? Because prophecy. Revelation 7:1, it says, and after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth. And yeah, that wind that's being held back, that's the destruction. Says that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. And yeah, until the elect sealed, man. That's, when that destruction is going to come through. It's, it's about the elect, first and foremost beforehand. Then afterwards is the judgment for everyone else. Even what the judgment, that's time for judgment to begin at the house of Israel. Israel's where it begins, man. 2/3. They're gonna need to get, taken care of and addressed. And then what? Everyone else, man. All the different heathen. And then, obviously chief among them, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, receiving his judgment as well. But that's why it's, we see these things happening, we see the escalation. But that means what? It pushes us closest to that chaos, that time of trouble, time of Jacob's trouble. These things are well on the way, man. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom. Shalom.